All right, fellas, we were back with episode number 5 of attempting to get the Maple Leafs a Stanley Cup. Last season, we missed the playoffs for the first time. Team's looking rough. Draft picks are looking rough. I've got no idea what our move is. I've got no idea what we're going to be doing. Honestly, Kopitar, Giroux, Panarin, Ben, Jonathan Toews, David Perron, Kadri, Doughty, Granlund, Atkinson, lots of guys. We're running into the time where just about everybody that's currently playing are done. Once again, we've cooked our draft pick situation. Once again, it is cooked. So we've got no idea what is going on in our team. In our team, our situation, we got no clue what's going on. We don't pick until round 4. No, I don't really care. We'll keep our number 111. But yeah, we are not looking too hot in our search to attempt to make Toronto juicy. We've got to actually probably look, and that's the thing right now, is that we're in such a just chalked spot. It's absolutely, like, there's no other word. Vitaly, I mean, that's a good pick there, I think, but we've got nobody that is really even available for us to draft when we're not drafting until round 4 every fucking round, which is mostly my fault. I mean, we had our year was 2 years ago. That's really what our year was. It was 2 years ago. Nothing came from it. Lost in the conference finals, and now we've just been continuously, essentially, fucking ourselves over, trying to improve mid-season or at the deadline. And last year, I mean, we bounced back. We had a tough-ass division. I mean, we're 40, 33, and 9, and that was good for 7th in the Atlantic. Which, I mean, 40, 33, and 9 isn't fantastic, but a lot of times in this GM mode specifically, right, like, you see a lot of right, like, you see a lot of teams drop off very fastly. Very fastly. I don't even know what I'm trying to say, man. I'm lost in the sauce. But I don't even know what I'm trying to say, man. But what I'm trying to say is that we're fucked. That's really what I'm trying to say. So we gotta look, see what we got. I mean, Willie Nylander had a great year, 67 games, 95 points. And I kind of accidentally skipped a day of free agency there. But now we're sitting with 30 million in cap space. Austin Matthews is a free agent, and I mean, obviously we've basically got to do everything in our power to re-sign him. I mean, that Trocheck trade looking brutal now. And I mean, we might just be looking at a complete and total rebuild of our team here. I mean, Crosby, we had him for 1 year. It was a great 1 year. I mean, let's see. Austin Matthews only wants 13 million. That is actually kind of hard to believe. I'm gonna bump him up to 13.5. Just because I have a feeling like he's gonna be pissed off. He was pissed off last year. I attempted to make the team better, but we just don't have assets to make the team better. Crosby, I mean, it was fun. It was great. Robertson doesn't really want a contract, which is totally understandable. More than understandable, honestly. I wouldn't want a contract here anymore either. This guy's terrible. Get him gone. I will be trying to re-sign you. I don't even have anybody there. Defenseman, I think we're pretty much locked in. I mean, our defense core is really not bad. They're pretty old. We just don't have any depth, which became a very apparent issue once we suffered a lot of injuries, which Morgan Riley missed basically the entire year. We traded away a lot of our, we had a lot of 7th D guys that we traded away because we just don't have anybody of any value. So now we're here. None of our goalies have really progressed at all. Valley's still a 75. Wants 1 million. Sure, I will give you that just to get him in the system. Hildeby, I mean, he wants a 2-way contract. You're probably going to be on our actual. You're going to be on the team. I don't know how else to say it. Like, you're on the team. I'm trying to give him 2 years. Give you 1 more year just to see. I mean, there's just no other way to put it. Like, you're on the team. Unless there is somebody available. I don't care about him. Our defensemen have got, 2 guys that are just there. You're there, which is like whatever. I will sign you, actually. I'm interested to see what you could potentially do for us. And then Nick Robertson again doesn't want the extension. I might qualify him, though. I am actually going to qualify him just because somebody might actually offer sheet him, and if we could get some sort of compensation, even if it's like a fucking 4th rounder, like at this point, we need basically all we can try and get, is basically what I'm trying to say. All right, Vaakanainen's back, draft picks back. Okay, Matthews is here. Hildeby's good. Everybody else should be good. Didn't really have any major contracts up. So that's everybody. That's literally everybody. And after it's all said and done, we're looking at about 15 million in cap space. We're gonna want a goalie. We'll basically need a goalie. We're gonna need a goalie. And honestly, just to try and sign some depth defensemen, like a bunch of guys hovering around 80 overall. Because I mean, our top pairs aren't bad. We got Uyghur, Riley, or Lilligan Riley, and then Uyghur Pellick. Like, our top 2 pairs are very, very good. And then our third pairing in Niemela and Vaakanainen is good when they're healthy, but then once somebody gets hurt, which they will, somebody will get hurt, then we fall off a cliff. And we really need some wingers signed to try and get some sort of a decent team going, and we also need some sort of centerman to be signed as well. So that's really what we're going to be looking at. No idea what the free agent list is even going to be at this point in time. But it's kind of what we've got to rely on in order to make this team competitive again. Lots of defensemen on the board. In fact, that's like everybody on the board are defensemen. Joe Pavelski's still not hanging him up at 43. Yeah. Actually just an absolutely absurd amount of defensemen who all want a lot of cash. Yeah, everybody wants, all these defensemen want absurd amount of money. Lausanne at 3.3 isn't bad. Same with Susie at 3 isn't terrible. I mean, like I said, I'm just looking for one guy that's a top 6 to add into the mix. And honestly, Dermott fits that bill very well. We'll give him 2.35 for 2 years. Considering your options, nobody wants you. Nobody wants you, and that's all right. And I'll go for Marchenko. Like I said, we need some wingers. I mean, I've kind of accepted that we also will be looking for, I mean, there's just nothing to improve the center core. I mean, Boone Jenner's there. Wants 1 year. But I mean, again, I think I'm just better off trying to find Beauvillier. I can't pronounce some of these guys' names, so just bear with me. I don't hate him for 2 mil 1 year, and maybe even look at a Anthony Mantha. I mean, we're looking for like a role that's third line guy, which is just Bemstrom, but I don't want to pay him that much. You know, Niederreiter, Abe Kubel, Josh Anderson, Gunstrom, Jonathan Marchessault, Holmstrom. Card 2 years at that amount of money, I do not hate at all. All right. Okay, I don't hate this. I don't hate the couple free agents that we've gone after here. Okay, good. All right, so we got 4 guys. And now let's peep. So we've still got 10 million in cap space. Oh, I completely forgot we need a fucking goalie, man. Oh, I completely forgot we need a fucking goalie. Vasilevsky's sitting right there. Vasilevsky's sitting right there, man. Vasilevsky's sitting right there. I mean, oh, dude. Let's see if we can get him 3 years, 9 million. If not, I don't hate it. I mean, I do hate it. Okay, so we do get Vasilevsky. All right. I don't hate it. I don't hate that off season. I mean, the thing is I'm gonna be locked in. I'm gonna be locked into this roster. I can't be giving up future draft picks anymore. We just can't do it. And then this year I should probably actually take some time to scout some players. I mean, we still don't have a first round pick. We don't have a first round pick for a while. So it's really a question of, can this roster get it done? And I mean, I feel fairly confident in this team, but I felt confident in the team last year. But granted, I think that this one's overall better. I mean, I think the biggest issue was yeah, I mean, we got nothing holding up our sleeves. If Robertson wants to sign, he can sign. If he doesn't, he can rot. That's my plan. If he wants to sign, he can sign. If he doesn't, he can rot. All right, captains, we're not going to change again. It's going to be the same guys. Once again, we're rocking that top line of Nylander, Matthews, Fiala. Then we got Formanton, Arvidsson, Trocheck, Nyes, Kampf, Marchenko, Ricard Raquel, Fraser Minton, and Beauvillier. I don't hate that. And then defense, we are rocking. We'll switch those we'll set these pairs for now. We'll see. I mean, obviously sending Pelech down onto a third line defense role probably isn't really the ideal move. And then we've got Vasilevsky and Hildeby in net. But I mean, we'll just see. We'll see how that goes. We've got enough depth, guys, now that hopefully injuries don't affect us as much. I mean, defense cores, we've got to have one of the best in the league at this point in the sim. And I mean, we'll see. Like I said, disappointing year last year. No way around that. It's a disappointing year. But we've constructed a good team again, in my opinion. So let's see how this year can go for us. Oh, Nick Robinson has decided to sign. All right, and I mean, so far so good. So far so good. We're off to a great start this year. But yeah, like I said, I think the biggest issue was last year, of course. I think letting go of Max Domi was the concern last year. But there we are. We're rocking first place in the Atlantic Division, 14-6-3. Austin Matthews tearing it up, 39 points. Fiala and Nylander both rocking 23 each. Mackenzie Weegar at 15 points. That second line's doing decent. Last year, our second line got 8 alive, but this year it's doing decent. Marchenko, Arvidsson, Trocheck all around half a point a game. Matthew Nyes rocking 12. Liljegren's got 10. Yeah, I mean, overall, our top line is by far dominating, and Vasilevsky having a decent-ish year. 900 save percentage at this point in the sim is pretty damn good. Hildeby, for whatever reason, this guy's got insane numbers. Like, I'm really interested to see his he's barely played games, but yeah, I mean, he's got a career 914 save percentage in the NHL with, I mean, granted only 43 games played, but I mean, his stats for his record are it's insane. But yeah, like I said, I mean, as kind of what I expected, our first lines are feasting, or our top line is feasting, because it's by far and away probably the best line in the game. At this point in the sim. But I mean, so far so good on this season. I kind of thought last year was like a one-off. It was a really weird year. I mean, an absolutely brutal start that we battled back from quite nicely, but just never could quite get the momentum to be able to claw our way all the way back to a playoff spot. All right. All right, let's settle. Thank you. Let's settle her back down. Jesus. settle back down. Let's see, Uyghur is out with an injured arm. See, this is where I get a little bit fucking worried, man, because last year all it took was one little injury like that. I might no, I mean, not this year. Next year I might be tempted to highly consider some of those. All right. Well, we are currently top spot in the NHL at 33, 14, and 4. Austin Matthews still tearing it up, 71 or 79 points in 51 games, rather. My apologies. Nylander's right behind him, and Fiala's well over a point per game as well. And then heavy drop off to Trocheck. Mackenzie Weegar's a plus 33. Yeah, I mean, again, like I said, it's our top line absolutely dominating, and everybody else is just good enough. It's our top line dominating, everybody else is just good enough. And Vasilevsky's playing well, 3 goals against. And Hildeby is excelling unbelievably well. But yeah, I mean, it's exactly what I expected. Top line is dominating, and then everybody else is on par. Top end talent is insane for this late in the game. There's very few players that'll be as good as Matthews, Nylander, and even Fiala. Like, essentially an entire first line of all 90s is essentially what we are looking at. Yeah, we've got enough depth That a couple injuries don't really affect us like they used to. All right. I mean, we will switch to a buyer. I just don't think there's going to be anything here that I really want to. I mean, Max Domi at. I mean, we don't have any cap space. I mean, Mikey Anderson, but I mean, we don't need defensemen. We don't need a goalie. We rocked. Yeah, I mean, I don't think we need anybody. I don't think we need to mess around, try and change this roster, man. This roster is good. It's very good. There's no denying that. All right, I was gonna say let's. I don't like seeing some of these scores though. Like, there's no reason we should be giving up 7 goals a game. Absolutely no reason. All right. So we finished first in the Atlantic with 110 points, 52, 24, and 6. Looks like we are going to see a first round matchup against the Ottawa Senators. Panthers, Sabres, Hurricanes, Capitals, and Devils, Blue Jackets, your other playoff teams in the East, whereas Coyotes, Avalanche, Stars, Wild, along with the Sharks, Oilers, Canucks, and Kraken, making it out west. Go take a look at regular season stats. I believe, I mean, I just don't see yet. Austin Matthews, 119 points, 65 goals. Nylander, well over a point per game. Fiala, well over. And that second line, good enough. 51 for Trocheck, 56 for Marchenko, 24 goals. Nyes is there. Formanton there at 43. Arvidsson, 42. David Camp, 37. And then our fourth line guys, not great. But like I said, our top line is so good. And you can just tell. Look at the plus minus. Plus 54, plus 59, plus 54. Goalies, Vasilevsky got better as the season went on. Hildeby still solid numbers as a backup. And Vasilevsky, a 908, is really about as good as you can expect for fantasy mode or franchise mode at this point in the season or at this point in the sim. Like, as far as actual starting goalies go, I mean, Samsonov's got a 918 in 43 games played. Random outlier there at 896. Not sure why he's showing up. But then you start like 913 is top save percentage there. 912 for Kochetkov. Like, we're like Vasilevsky's right around the top as far as starting goalie save percentage goes. Him and Spencer Knight. I mean, Spencer Knight's gonna win the Vezina for sure. But And wow, actually Andrei Svechnikov and Sebastian Aho put up higher point totals than Matthews. But Matthews, Nylander, Fiala all up there. McDavid potted 50 of his own, 52 for Aho, 65 though. I mean, no Art Ross for Matthews, but Matthews definitely ran away with the Rocket, Kaprizov, and Kucherov with 54 and 53. Connor Bedard also puts up 50 goals, just over a point per game. But as stated, we're back in the playoffs after a 1-year absence. After a 1-year absence, back in the playoffs, starting it off round 1 against the Ottawa Senators. First period underway, and it ends 1-1. Nylander and Tarasenko with the goals. Second period still 1-1. Third period 4-1 for Toronto. Willie Nylander with a hat trick. Formanton adds an extra empty netter. And I mean, that's a hell of a performance by whoever Ottawa's got in net. Who is Ottawa's goaltender? Samuel Kosa, 2 goals against on 38 shots. I mean, that's what they're going to need if they're going to compete in this series. Willie Nylander, first star of the game, 3 goals. Vasilevsky doing his thing with a 961. And Toronto, for the first time in the round 1, takes the opening game. Game 2 underway. First period, 2-0 Toronto. Nylander with his 4th of the series, and Beauvillier both on the power play. Starts off the first great fashion. Second, 4-1 for Toronto. Marchenko, Josh Norris gets one back, but Formanton tallies his 2nd of the series. And third period, going to end 5-2. Kevin Fiala gets another one, and whoever the hell Ostapchuk is. Ostapchuk. I can't even say that name. Just some sounds, man, they're awkward for me to pronounce. I did speech therapy when I was younger, man. I was a little idiot. I couldn't pronounce stuff. And even now, just like certain sounds back to back, it's like I need to add like an to it, you know? But that's 2 dominant wins by Toronto, 4-1 and 5-2. Bringing it to Ottawa for game number 3. First period is going to be 2-1 for the Sens. Yoshimaru and Kampf gets one back for us. Third period, Brady Tkachuk and Tim Stützle tap in for Ottawa. Adam Pelech gets another one for us. Third period, 6-3. Phillips Kampf gets another one, and Chychrun adds an empty netter. As Ottawa claws back, picks up a big win on home ice to make the series 2-1 Toronto. Setting up a big game 4. Can Ottawa successfully defend home ice, or can the Maple Leafs take a 3-1 advantage back to Toronto? First period ends 0-0, 14-9. Ottawa outshoots Toronto. Second period, 2-0. Stützle and Riley Gregg get the goals for Ottawa. Third period, Toronto ties it up. Kampf once again, another one for Kampf, and Willie Nylander with his 5th of the series sends us to overtime in game number, and it's over instantly in overtime. Thomas Chabot scores 42 seconds into the extra frame as Ottawa successfully defends home ice and sends us back to Toronto, tied up at 2 apiece for a huge game 5 in Toronto. First period, And Toronto answers the fucking call. Niemela on the power play. Nylander once again, and Arvidsson gets his first of the I was gonna say first of the period, but first of the series. And a 3-0 Toronto lead. Phillips gets one back for Ottawa, but Ovechnikov gets yet another one. Look at that angle. That's the thing in The Sims, man. Like, look at where he scored from. Just an absolute ripper from the corner. 4-1 for the Leafs. Third period ends 5-2. Ridley Gregg gets another one, and Mackenzie Weegar adds an empty netter. Home ice proving huge in this series, as Toronto takes game number 5 on home ice, bringing us back to Ottawa with a chance to close out the series. First period, Ottawa just dominating home ice once again. Ridley Gregg and Jacob Chikrin with the goals. However, Arvidsson and Fiala answer back for Toronto. We're going to sim this one. Normal speed power play. We've been iced out. We don't score on the power play, but Marchenko immediately after it ends makes it 3-2. Ottawa on the power play. Nothing doing. 5 minutes left in the third. And Arvidsson adds an empty netter, and that will be the game and the series. Toronto pulls out a gutsy Game 6 performance. Arvidsson with 2 goals. Vasilevsky with a nice game. And Toronto will be advancing. Oh, but David Kampf is out. That hurts, actually, because he's been playing really well. But after missing the playoffs for 1 year, 1 season, Toronto comes back, answers the toll, gets us through the first round with a 4-2 series win. Checking out stats, Willie Nylander, dominant series, 6 goals. 6 goals in 6 games. Matthews, no goals, but 7 assists. Fiala, a point per game. Marchenko, Bouvillier, Arvidsson, Camp put up 3 goals. And Vasilevsky with a 917 and a 2.5 goals against average. And we've got New Jersey and Washington on the other side of the East. And in the West, we've got Coyotes, Avalanche, Oilers, Wild. As your second round matchups, Leafs on home ice once again to kick off round 2 against Buffalo. First period, big first period. Nick Robertson and Kevin Fiala get 2 on Levi. Buffalo outshoots us 14-10. But it's 2-0 for the Leafs. Second period, 4-1. Liljegren and Formanton. Kulik gets one back for the Sabres. And the third period ends 5-1 for the Leafs. Victor Arvidsson tacks on another one. A strong game by Vasilevsky. Strong game by the offense. Robertson with 2 points. Fiala with a goal. Robertson, guy who didn't want to sign with us, kind of got forced into it as an RFA. Picks up 2 points in the opening game of the second round. Game number 2 to take it yet another 2-0 lead in a series, and it's 1-0 early. Victor Arvidsson taps in again. Buffalo once again with an edge in shots, but Toronto's got the lead on the scoreboard, and they hold on to that 1-0 lead through the second period, third period, and that is how the game's going to end. 1-0 for the Leafs, finally getting that goaltending that they desperately need. Vasilevsky with a 33 save shutout, Levi 29 saves in a losing effort, and Arvidsson game's only goal. yet again jumping out to a 2-0 series lead. Let's see if we're able to take game number 3 this time. First period in Buffalo, and it's going to be 1-0 Toronto. Adam Pelech with the goal. Shots 15-10 for Toronto. Second period explodes for a 3-3 game. Zach Benson, Peterka, Beauvillier, Ratty, and Mackenzie Weegar adds another one for a 3-3 tie going into the third, and Buffalo is going to come out on top. Jack Quinn and Rasmus Dahlin adds an empty netter for a 5-3 win for Buffalo in Buffalo. Game number 4, Buffalo attempting to defend home ice. Period number 1, and holy, it's 3-0. Marchenko, Morgan Riley, and Vincent Trocheck all scoring for the Leafs. Second period, Buffalo gets one back. Peyton Krebs gets one back for Buffalo. Third period, 5-2 for the Leafs. Adam Tuck gets another one back, but Dermott short-handed, and Willie Nylander adds an empty netter. Toronto steals game 4 on the road, giving us a 3-1 series lead, heading back to Toronto for game number 5. Chance to put away the Buffalo Sabres. First period, 2-0 Buffalo. Zach Benson and Samuelson with the goals. Second period, an absolute explosion. Austin Matthews with the first of the playoffs. David Kampf on the power play. Willie Nylander on the power play. And Nick Robertson adds in another one. Toronto takes a 4-2 lead. Make that 5-2. Austin Matthews and Matthew Nyes on the power play. And we are just running away with this one. Fraser Minton adds one back in the lineup. 7-2 for the Maple Leafs. And I mean, this one's all but over. We'll just rejoice, kind of, as Toronto takes care of Buffalo in 5 games to advance to the Eastern Conference Finals, where New Jersey is waiting for us. And I apologize, my throat's getting cooked by talking this much. We've got Oilers, Avalanche on the other side of the bracket. Willie Nylander still leading the way. Scoring wise with 14 points in 11 games. Fiala's right there with 13. Matthews has got 12. Mackenzie Weegar's got 9. Matthew Nyes has got 8. Arvidsson, Kampf, Marchenko, Beauvillier all with 7. Formanton, Pelech, Liljegren, Robertson has 4 in 5 games. Fraser Minton's got 2 in 2 games. Everybody's contributing. Everybody is contributing. Vasilevsky putting up a .931 save percentage here in these playoffs. 8 more wins are all that is standing between the Maple Leafs and the Stanley Cup. In New Jersey to start round number 3. First period, 2-1 for the Leafs. Timo Meier on the power play. Arvidsson answers right back on the power play. And Morgan Riley gets us the goal, giving us a 2-1 lead into the first intermission. Nylander, Matthews, and oh my god, we got like 20-something shots on goal that period. Oh my god. 4-1 Toronto going into the third. And it's going to end 5-2. We put up 52 goddamn shots. Anthony Beauvillier, Alex Turcotte gets one back. Yeah, look at that second period. Oh my god, 25-7. Wow. An absolute dominating performance by the Leafs in game 1. Nylander with 4 points. Fiala with 4 points. Vasilevsky, 33 saves in the victory. And that's just a dominating performance by our top line. An absolute dominant performance by our top line in game number 1. Game number 2 underway. Nothing at the end of the first. Still nothing at the end of the second. We're going to take this one slow. Into the third period. And Jesper Bratt gets one for the Devils. And then quickly on a power play. But Dermott answers with the second shorthanded goal of the playoffs for him. Power play gets killed off by the Devils. And Nico Hischier adds another one. And Alexander Holtz gets yet another. And it looks like the Devils answer back in game number 2 with a 3-1 victory. All the goals coming in the third period. I mean, we can't get mad about Vasilevsky. 37 saves in the L. And honestly, you can't get mad about that performance in general. We're able to go into New Jersey, split the series, giving home ice back to Toronto. First period at Scotiabank Arena, I believe. Might not even be the name. That might be Ottawa's. I don't even know. Timo Meier on the power play gets the scoring opening, but Austin Matthews answers on the power play for ourselves. 1-1 going into the second. 3-2 Austin Matthews with his second of the game. Morgan Riley adds an extra. Timo Meier gets yet another one for the Devils. And we're heading into the third period with a 1-goal lead, but Jack Hughes taps in for the first time in the series, makes it 3-3. 5 minutes left and Kevin Fiala gets one with 3 minutes left in the third. Austin Matthews gets a hat trick in the empty net, and that will wrap up game number 3. Austin Matthews, 3 goals, 1 assist. Kevin Fiala with another 4-point performance. Timo Meier gets 2 of his own. Not quite enough. Vasilevsky with a big game. 33 saves for the win. Oh. Never mind. Never mind. Might not be. I mean, it's not Vasilevsky anymore. Vasilevsky out with a sprained finger. Leaves us with Dennis Hildeby in net. Kevin Fiala leading the way in points now with 21 in 14 games played. And now it's Dennis Hildeby in the net. All right, big game 4 on home ice. Try and take a 3-1 advantage in this series. First period, 3-1 for the Devils. Hamilton dries. Robertson gets one back, and Holtz. 4-2, Marchenko, Pitlick. We're just going to try and get out of this one. 4-3 is going to be the final. Beauvillier gets one back. New Jersey takes one in Toronto. And Austin Matthews with a mild concussion. Game number 5 in New Jersey. This is going to be a tough one to win. Matthews out. Vasilevsky also injured. First period, 2-0 for the Devils. Timo Meier, Dougie Hamilton. Nylander gets one back for us in the second. Oh, I did not mean to sim through the whole game. I wanted to go through that slow. But the Devils take it 2-1. Putting Toronto's back against the wall. Matthews, not good to go for game number. Not good to go for game number 6. It's going to take a gutsy performance. by the Leafs in order to claw their way back into this series. First period of game number 6, lose and go home. First period, it's 3-1 for the Devils, and it's all falling apart. Dawson Mercer, Jesper Bratt, and Nico Hischier. It's 5-1 for the Devils, and this is all it's wrote. 5-2, Robertson gets one back. And the Maple Leafs, in heartbreaking fashion, man, have lost in the conference finals yet again. This time to the New Jersey Devils. Oh, man, that blows. Colorado Avalanche are your cup champs. Yeah, I mean, no other way around it. Kevin Fiala going to lead us in points with 21 in the playoffs. Nylander puts up 20. Austin Matthews had 18. Marchenko, Beauvillier, Arvidsson, Nick Robertson, damn near a point per game in the playoffs. And I mean, he'll to be a sub 900 save percentage and 3.5 goals against per game. Ooh, excuse me. I mean, that's tough. That is tough. Vasilevsky was playing absolutely unreal. Yeah, I mean, far and away the best goalie out of any starter in the playoffs. I mean, Georgiev with a 901. I mean, he stays healthy. You got to think that we we get it done. But unfortunately, that's not how it works. So the Leafs let another conference finals slip out of their grasp. And that's going to do it for this one, fellas. I really thought that was the year. I really thought that it was, but we'll see. We'll see what we can do next year. Appreciate you guys watching. I really thought that 2029 would have been the year, but we'll regroup and be back. Off season should be pretty relatively easy, I believe, to kind of navigate. And yeah, we will catch you guys in the next episode. Appreciate anybody watching, especially anybody that stuck it out this far. I'm enjoying recording these. I've got some other ideas for more NHL content, as well as just more content in general. So hopefully you guys keep an eye out for that. And if you're not subbed, please drop a sub. Really appreciate it. Trying to be consistent on YouTube. And any likes, any subs, any comments, anything at all just proves that people are actually watching and interested. So yeah, appreciate you guys watching. And I will catch you guys in the next episode. Peace out, fellas.